Welcome to this Centering Prayer Workshop with me. I'm Bishop Jose of the Episcopal Diocese of Idaho. I'm grateful to be part of this ministry, of the teaching ministry of the Church Next. So today we are going to look at the Centering Prayer, an ancient path to profound communion. What does that mean? Communion with whom? Communion with God, and also communion with one another. A contemporary method designed to facilitate contemplative prayer. We're talking about the centering prayer. It prepares us to receive the profound divine gift of God's presence. So God is not giving us that gift when we do the centering prayer. It's already there. We become aware, and it also is a committed time for us to spend with God. It doesn't replace other forms of prayer, but casts new light and depth upon them, enriching our spiritual life through silent communion with the divine. Just want to make sure that God is present all the time, whether we recognize God or not. So the centering prayer is a method where we train our mind, we train ourselves, or have a discipline of spending time with God. It is an experience of love. It's just like when you and I spend our time with our spouses or our dear ones, our children. We spend time, they're always there, available, waiting. And so it's a communion, it's a love relationship that is built knowingly and willingly and intentionally. So let's look at what that is. Centering prayer is a receptive approach. What does that mean? It's a silent prayer method that cultivates an experience of God's immediate presence within, describing as being closer than breathing, closer than thinking, and closer than choosing, closer than consciousness itself. Reflect on that. It is closer than breathing, closer than thinking, closer than choosing, closer than consciousness itself. It is deeper than all of what we can do. It is simply the presence that matters. And that's what we are practicing in centering prayer. It is a relationship and a discipline. I want to focus on that. It's a relationship and discipline. We are building a relationship with God, but it is impossible to have that relationship until and unless you and I are committed to build that relationship. This practice is both a relationship with God and a dedicated discipline to nurture the relationship, moving beyond conversation with Christ toward profound communion with Him. I say this simply because there is no beautiful relationships that can be built without time. And so I call contemplation is time, or love is time. And so that's what this is about. This prayer method is actually intentionally, consciously giving your time to God. And it's not that God wants our time, or God is disappointed when we don't give our time. If you and I want to build a good relationship, what is the primary component of that? That you and I spend time with the person we want to build a relationship. And so this is what that is. So relationship and discipline that helps you and me to give this time to God. And so this practice is both a relationship with God, just like a relationship with anybody else that we want to grow in love, and a dedicated discipline, just like having a cup of coffee with your spouse, having a cup of coffee on a regular basis with your friends or your spouse or your children. That is the discipline that we enter into. And that's what the second part to be aware of. And third, a gift to receive. Centering prayer is a gift that we receive. As Father Thomas Keating very well said, contemplation itself is not something to be achieved, but a gift already given. Centering prayer serves to allow it to awaken within you. Centering prayer is a way that this gift is awakened, or the presence of God is awakened and become aware of it. And so that's what the centering prayer is, and that's where I want to invite you to. It's not meant to replace any other kind of prayer, which you may have. We all have other kinds of prayer: morning prayer, evening prayer, midday prayer, or praying the rosary, or the other practices that we have in prayer. This is not to replace any one of that. Rather, it casts a new light and depth of meaning on them. It enhances spiritual life by cultivating a deeper, non-conceptual relationship with the divine. What is the non-conceptual relationship that we are talking about? This distinction is particularly important for individuals who might otherwise perceive their current prayer practices as insufficient. Centering prayer facilitates a movement from more active verbal prayer into a more receptive posture of resting in God. That's what I want you to take from what centering prayer is. It's resting in God. It's resting in the presence of someone you love. It's when your heart is at peace when you're with your spouse or with your children or with someone or with your dearest friend or someone that you can let go of your anxieties. That's what centering prayer is. It is not, during that time, we are not entering into anything other than resting.